It's your man, Big Spanish DJ Enuff. This is Go Talk. We got my man Joe Crack in the building, one of the greatest to ever do it in the building. I'm glad you're here, brother.
Oh man,
you know it's special. It's special. It's like you coming home.
I am home.
This is home.
This
for you.
is my home.
This is your home.
No, this is my home.
Absolutely.
That's guaranteed.
Absolutely.
And I feel that way. And so it's an honor. You know, they told me, yo, enough. I had to come.
Go
I
talk.
try to get a little lazy this week because it's the first week I'm back home.
Right.
Because I travel so much. I'm working so much.
You're doing a lot.
That I was trying to stay home and be nice and lazy. And it was like, you got to go down there and see Enough. I was like, well, it's enough. We got to go.
That's it.
So we here. What's up?
I'm just trying to be in the same bag. Look, one of my good friend Nori got a show. Then Fat Joe gets a show. Yeah. So how come Enuff don't got a show? And now I got a show. Go Talk right here, tapping with TT. This is the new vibe. This is the new big show on the big radio station with the big DJ. So shout to TT, shout to my brother Drewski and myself. Catch us middays right here on 197, 10 to 3. This is where we at now.
Man, you doing a lot though, Enough,
Thank you,
because I
brother.
see you. You all
Thank
over.
you.
You know,
Thank
you
you,
getting the
brother.
bag all over. You don't stop. And it's
trying, brother.
what is it for you that keeps you going? I know we like to pay the bills, but
It's the same thing, man. I love my job. I think that's what it is. I really love my job. I love when them two turntables and that microphone and that mixes in front of me. I feel like this is my job, and I got to do my job the best that I could do it. That's it.
that's crazy, man,
That's
because I just did a show in Germany and it was 20,000 people, but the lineup was a little bit different for me. It was special though. It was J. Rue the Damager,
No way.
the Beat Nuts,
Oh wow.
Product B&G, Havoc, Mobb Deep with Nord in them. Then it was Little Kim, Cypress Hills, Fat Joe.
Damn.
And so, you know, I'm constantly touring, but I never get to do it with my brothers. I started with J. Rue the Damager and the
right.
Beat Nuts and Fat
100%.
Man Scoop and everybody. And so it was just like all of us was on stage hanging out. All right, it's your turn. All right, it's your turn. All right, it's your turn. And I realized on stage in Germany how much I love doing this. You know, to be with the guys. You know, the Beat Nuts, they was out before me. And when I was doing my album, my mother caught cancer. So my mother, at the time, they wouldn't let you spend the night in the hospital with the patient.
Wow.
So she was scared to spend the night alone. So I had to hire private nurses, registered nurses.
Right.
Those were like $2,500 at that time at night.
Wow.
So I wound up spending my whole budget for my album on my mother's health care for the cancer. So I ran out of money. And if it wasn't for the Beat Nuts mixing my album for free, you would have never heard Fat Joe.
That's love.
No album. So it's special to me when I'm on there performing and they in the building and we all in the building. It was amazing. It was amazing. So I guess when you work, when you do what you love to do, it ain't work.
That's it. That's the key to success. Hustling is the key to success.
Money is the key to sex.
Sorry, I went back to your vibes. I was telling a story earlier. So this is how far I go back with this gentleman's name. I used to be Red Alert's apprentice at the legendary 98.7 KISS, 1440 Broadway, right here in the Big Apple, right? And this is when Funkmaster Flex left his apprenticeship and started Hot 97. Now, I used to be in charge of pulling out and setting up Red Alert before he got on the radio. So there was these things called carts, and they would be put in a cart machine, and on these carts would be drops, promos, sound effects, and even exclusive records that maybe we didn't have on vinyl at the time. Because back in those days, everything was on vinyl. No MP3s, no MP4s, no WAV files, none of that. So I got to witness my man Fat Joe's promo for Red Alert, the actual Flojo record that started your whole entire career. So I was in charge of handing that to Red. Like, here goes, boom.
So you saying you was assisting?
Of course.
Yes. That's why we love Enough. Yo, Enough. Let me tell you something. That changed my life.
Yes.
So I did the Apollo. I won 4 weeks in a row. And
That I
got
remember.
Red Alert.
Yes.
Red Alert came up to me and said, do you have any promo, anything you could do, give me for the radio? And so then me and Diamond D went and we made Flojo.
I love that.
He ain't play it for like about 2 months. He had it. So I remember one night I got the flu. I never missed Red Alert DJing anyway. So I'm on the couch. I'm dying. Flojo comes on. I jumped so high I hit the ceiling. I grabbed a big speaker, put it on the window of the projects, turned it up, and started screaming at the whole projects. Yo, yo, yo! I'm on the radio.
You wanted everybody
I'm on
to
the,
use the radio.
They was jumping up and down. The whole hood was so happy. And that changed my life. You know, that Flojo turned into my single.
That's crazy.
Chris Lighty signed me, rest in peace. And it went #1 in the country, rap singles on Billboard. So,
boom,
you know.
Boom, change your life. Boom, boom, boom.
I never forget that, man. You know, when we made it in Diamond D's house, he just started playing it. He was like, wee, wee. I was like, yo, that's hard. Then he threw the drums, boom, bah, boom, 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 bah, boom, 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 bah. You gotta flow, Joe. You gotta. It was crazy. Changed my life.
You know, seeing that video and seeing like, you know, like with you being in that video, for me, it was like, you know, I tell people this all the time because look, we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop, right? And I keep quoting Ruby D from the movie Wild Style because he says, if Ruby D is my name and I'm a Puerto Rican, you might think I'm black by the way I'm speaking. So I was like, when I heard that rhyme, I said, okay, this hip hop thing's for me too. I heard it. So to see you there, brother, was everything for me too. I saw you in the video. This guy looks like me. He has the fatigues on. He has on this light skin complexion. Whatever. It doesn't make it but you represented us. So I was like, if he could do it, we could do it.
That's right.
And that's everything.
That was the whole point. But you know, Latino's been a part of hip hop since day one. You know what I'm saying? But they chose to DJ, they chose to break dance, they chose to write graffiti.
Right.
We just ain't really had nobody in the forefront like that.
Right.
We had Tito.
And if we did, you didn't know about it.
You ain't know. We had Tito, we had Charlie. I think the two biggest Latinos of that time, well, three to us, but you know, is Ruby D. But we had
Whip.
Charlie Chase, Whip from day one. But Charlie Chase and I think Tito from the Fearless is the first Latino like
you saw it, right?
Superstar.
Yeah.
At the time.
With the Jerry
He was
curls,
a superstar. He was a
the leather
superstar.
jackets.
They had hit records.
No, they had it.
Too. They had hit records. So it was like, to me, he was somebody I aspired to be. I was like, wow, I want to be like Tito from the Fearless. And it's crazy, man, because, you know, I hope he listens to these interviews, man, because I big him up all the time to let him know, you know, a lot of times you could believe in something, but you got to see it to believe it. So it was brothers like that that made me believe that it was possible for me to go to the next level.
I remember when I was on tour with B.I.G. and I used to come home for my little runs. Joe used to always be like, yo, so how's the road? How's Biggie? And in my mind, I didn't in the very early days of him asking his questions to me, I was always asking, why is he always asking? And he was very good friends with Big. But I know you had a heavy set Latino who was coming soon. Yeah. And so I think you were kind of navigating through the process of like what Big was going through.
But I seen everything.
You know what I'm saying?
I seen Biggie from day one. And I seen what Puff did from day one. So the very second I heard pun rap, I knew what I was gonna do.
Absolutely.
The second I heard him rap, I said, "That's it. I got the Spanish Biggie. It's on. Like I know what I'm gonna do with this guy. We throwing Versace on him. We throwing linen on him. We making the fly Papi Chulo from the block, and we gonna make some hit records for the girls." So I knew because I saw what Puff did with Big. You know, one time I was in Biggie's house in Brooklyn, and we was talking. I had Army fatigues on. He had a hockey jersey, a black with the yellow. I don't know what that is. Right? He had a hockey jersey. We was just chilling. He was like, yo, come to my party tonight. This, that. He gave me some tickets. It's like, all right. He was like, yo, dress fly. You know, this, that. I'm like, all right. So I come down there. And when I walk in the crowd, Biggie is on stage with a salmon suit on, with the fur, with gators, with the I never seen nothing like. I was just with him with a hockey.
You got the Palladium for that.
Bro, I was with him with the hockey jersey. I'm sitting. I'm like, yo, like, you know. I said, yo, you could do that. Like, you know, it was like he was the first overnight success.
Yes,
he was the first person, and the only way I could explain it to you is like, what's going on with Ice Spice right now? that 6 months ago she was a regular girl from the Bronx and now she can't come outside.
She can't be outside.
Cardi B, Cardi B overnight became the biggest in the world. There's some people that are freaks in nature.
Right.
That they just blow up. So, we went from Biggie being street to being number 1, 2, and 3 on the Billboard charts. We had never seen nothing like that. Right. Yeah. And Puff, he's hip hop, but he came from another background. He came from the Jodeci, the fly shit. He came from Andre Harrell, Uptown Records. Yeah. And so he knew how to make these records to go. And he knew how to make everything fly. We would go to Puff Daddy's house. We didn't want to leave his house.
Right.
You go in there, it's white silk sheets and boats in the back, and you be like, yo, I want to live here.
Facts.
Like, can I live in Puff Daddy's house?
Facts.
It was totally different for us. I remember the first time Puffy came to see me in my block. He pulled up in a drop top Benz and picked me up. I mean, the hood was like, yo, this dude got Puff Daddy coming to get him in the thing. It was just a whole different allure.
It is a law. It's a whole different thing. Fat Joe, man. So talk to me about your process, about your book. Yeah, I know you put the book out and you have a lot of very, very personal things about the book. Everything from your children to the trials and tribulations with your friends growing up. Yeah. What was the process like writing the book?
It was painful, man. Very traumatic. I think my high blood pressure went up.
No way.
No, really.
Yeah?
I never had high blood pressure in my life. And then during that whole process, I felt like I caught high blood pressure. Because not only I had to write the book, and the book was very traumatic for me, but I had to go everywhere and do these interviews and keep breaking down what it was. And so for me, I always knew I was going to do a book. But I wanted it to be really, really transparent.
Got it.
I wanted people to really understand what it was like to be Fat Joe getting in the game, where I came from. My father's from Cuba. My mother's Puerto Rican. My father's a little bit lighter than your shirt, believe it or not, right? Mm-hmm. So my father, I remember when Tony Montana, the El Mariel, my father and my mother chipped their money and they bought like a whack boat, and he went over there because I got 12 brothers and sisters in Cuba, right? So he went over there to get the kids. They only gave him 2 daughters, Lourdes and Mercedes, and they gave him like 31 Cubans he never met in his life. So he comes back, the boat sinks, the Coast Guard saves him, but then all 31 Cubans came to the Bronx and was living in my house. So Julio Ecojo, Cheche Collet, all these guys, and guys he didn't even know living in my house. So when I'm going to school, I'm stepping on people. So I just want to tell everybody my experience in life and what I had to overcome and keep a smile on my face.
That's a crazy story.
That's one of them.
So
it's like this book is just filled with so many gems that I just wanted to be very transparent and let everybody know I've been through depression. I've been through a lot of stuff. I've been through best friends robbing me for millions. I've been through everything. But I've always maintained a smile on my face. Right. So I'm trying to let everybody know, don't let life beat you. You could beat life. You can keep a smile on your face and just always stay positive.
How do you have this great persona about yourself? We're going through all the trials and tribulations you've been through in life.
I'm like you, man. I'm happy to be alive. And every day, and I really mean it. And as older as I get, it's even crazier. Every day I wake up and the sun is out, I'm like, yo, I'm up. You know what I'm saying? I got another day. What we gonna do now? What we gonna do? What's the legacy? What we gonna do today? How we gonna do it bigger and bigger? And me, even since I was a teenager, I left my house when I was 14, I hustled in the streets. Like I've always wanted the biggest, and I'm not cool. Some people are cool with a mediocre life. Some people are cool with, enough. I'm not. And so my glass is never full. So I'm always got my eyes on the prize. Look at this. Jay-Z's a billionaire. He's still going for a casino. He's trying to be the first black guy with a casino in Times Square, and I support that 1,000,000%.
That's crazy.
Because black and brown people gamble all the time. Why we can't own our own
everything
casino?
That's it. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that fire to go to the next level.
You want a piece
to succeed.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm about. And every day that I'm able to wake up, I'm like, I feel blessed. Like, yo, I'm up. I'm alive. You know, that's the best thing.
You definitely are. Yo, you know, we in Summer Jam season, and I just wanted to get from your perspective the greatest Summer Jam moment you remember. Besides your own.
Besides Lean Back. So Lean Back was only out for 2 days, right? And Little John asked me to come out with him. And so I go on there and I do Lean Back. Lean Back was only out for 2 days. Say Summer Jam's always on Sunday, came out Friday. And man, that joint came on and 72,000 people started leaning back. And I remember I looked back, like I couldn't even believe it. I looked back and Kanye West is hiding behind stage looking like, and I'm looking at, like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Changed my life. That's one. Summer Jam, there was so many legendary moments in Summer Jam. I like one time we did who was it? I think Fab brought like Wu-Tang out, Mobb Deep out, us out, Busta out, everybody, and it was just all of us our era. You know, we always do like a great tribute for DMX. Last year we did a phenomenal tribute for K-Slay.
K-Slay. I was about to ask you about that, yeah.
Man, K-Slay, man, these I was thinking about him the other day, like a lot. And you know, K-Slay, you know, he is in the Hot 97. I love that y'all got his picture up in the booth and all that. And you know, he was keeping real hip hop alive as long as he could.
Always.
And so, you know, doing the tribute for him was amazing. And he was so impacted in the streets that trying to get on stage, I was trying to fight to perform. Because it was just thousands of dudes backstage. I don't know how they got him. Everybody wanted to show their face for K-Slay. It was crazy. It was nuts.
Because he fought for them. So it's only right they fought for
they were like, yo, I'm going to be there for him. I'm going to be standing there. I'm going to hold it down for him. And so that was one of my most memorable. Of course, you got the Jay-Z with Michael Jackson. You got so many legendary moments. You know, one time Remy brought out Latifah and MC Lyte and brought out Cardi B for the first time.
That was a dope one too.
It's Cardi B's first big show.
Right.
She brought out Cardi B. She brought out all the females with her. That was legendary.
I remember when Lean Back, one of the times you guys performed it, and literally thunderstorm. At the same time, Lean Back dropped. It didn't stop nobody from leaning back. It didn't stop nobody from singing and nobody from dancing. That's how much impactful you were to our audience.
Yeah, man. Fire. You know that Lean Back was a different type of thing, man. Even to this day, you know what I'm saying? Is the gift that keeps giving.
I love it.
You know, it's crazy.
I love it. Let's talk about the kids. How the kids doing?
Everybody's great, man.
They're doing good.
Little Joey is better than all of them. Little Joey, you know, my first son is autistic. But I feel like little Joey, he overachieved.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? He's like a Don. You know what I mean? When he's sitting in the house, when we all eat dinner together, he sits in the Don's chair and he looks at his brothers and sister and he just laughs at them. And, you know, he's a Don. My son Ryan been graduated college. He just opened his own business. He's being an entrepreneur.
Love that.
I almost cried.
Love that.
You know, when he called me without my help or nothing, he was like, yo, Dad, I bought this spot. And I was just like, wow.
That's amazing.
That's something that feels amazing to me. My daughter turned 17. She's growing fast. She just made it to the 12th grade today.
I can't believe it.
That's crazy. Like, I was at the baby shower last week. I'm telling you.
That's how it feels, right?
Everybody we tell when you get older, and you hear people be like, yo, it just shot back. One day you're going to be saying that. Because I cannot believe it. It feels like I was on the baby shower, and now she's 17. And she's driving. And so, you know, I bought her a car for her birthday and a truck, actually. And she won't let me do it. If we need something from the bodega, she got to drive. If we going over here, she got to drive. If we go over there, she got the fever. She got her car parked outside her window, and she just stares at her car.
Ready to go.
She be like, yo, Dad, I just be sitting in the car. Like, I can't believe I got a car. I love it.
I love it.
You know,
bro. That's a great story.
You know,
man.
she's my heart. She's my everything.
That's a great story, man. How's the wife doing?
She's great. You know,
Till I
it's
say
Mother's
hi.
Day, it's anniversary, it's
Everything,
birthday, it's Christmas, it's Lollapalooza. Like, I don't know, man, boy. They find something, boy. They find something all the time to spend $1, boy. I can't.
Always.
Now it's, you know, the summer's coming back. It's landscaping. They went and found the Liberace of landscapers coming with this is what your house could look like. I'm like, damn, you people don't take a break, man.
Don't stop. It's love. That's part of the game. That's part of the game.
I love it too. I love to make my girls happy.
I know you do.
My whole family, you know.
I know you do.
My friends, you know, anybody who ever deserved a job got a job. You know, with the sneaker stores up in NYC, you know, all my guys are managers of stores. You know, my nephew's a manager of the store in the Bronx. And so I'm able to feed everybody who really wants to work.
That's it.
You know, not handouts.
Hey, you want to work?
But
Let's
anybody
go.
who really works and really could contribute to it, they got a job. That's one of the things I'm most proud of.
Super love that. I love that you're doing that. Let's talk about your first memory of hip hop. And when do you think? Do you remember anything?
Man, I don't remember the first memory of hip hop. I know that disco music was killing, and then the Bee Gees put the game in the chocos. So for young kids that don't know, whatever Drake is doing right now, the Bee Gees was doing that 100 times worse.
Yes.
So every song of them, I'm more than a woman. Like the radio was like
The Bee Gees.
15 BG records, a Stephanie Mills, 20 BG records, a Michael Jackson, 10 BG. Like, it was out of control.
It was, yeah.
And then they created this thing called hip hop. And I remember they used to, one of the first records, two of the first records that were ever spun in hip hop was breakbeats was Good Times.
Yes.
And then To Be Real.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be real even back then. To be
Cheryl
real.
Lynn, To Be Real.
To Be Real.
And then Chic, The Good Times. Yep.
Good Times. Doom, 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 ba-doom, doom, 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 doom. I remember the other day I was listening to the radio and the instrumental for Heartbeat. Do you remember how you felt when you heard doom, 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 doom,
boom, 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 boom.
man? And so we was running. The Bronx was running hip hop for a long time. Besides Treacherous Street, that was Kumo D and them from Harlem, Fearless from Harlem, and then I was at a talent show in junior high school, and everybody kept coming playing that Lights, Camera, Action, Kumo D Action.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So everybody was rocking to that. Everybody was doing their dance routines to that. That's that thing. But 3 girls, I really wish, because this is so much a part of my hip hop life, my history. 3 girls came out to dance from my junior high. And they dropped Sucker MCs, Run DMC. And I'm in the South Bronx. Created
84.
hip-hop. Listen, created hip-hop. Bro, I watched 1,000 kids in junior high school look at each other and go, the game is over. Run DMC just demolished. They took the new sound. Like you knew from that one play, the game has changed. The Bronx was the old school. This is the new school. Like, it was like, I watched everybody like this. And it's almost funny the way you broke down Flojo to me. I always wish I was a fly on the wall in Philadelphia or Boston and see little Latino kids see Fat Joe come out for the first time, Flojo. If I could have just been in their house to see their face, to be like, oh, we got one.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's sort of like how I felt when I discovered pun. When I heard pun, I was like, oh, we got one. Like, we got a big boy. Like, this guy's one of the geniuses. And so I actually was with 1,000 people when Run DMC played for the first time. And everybody discovered America at that moment. Everybody was like, like, if we could just say, keep playing that record, that was it.
Joe, you're probably one of the greatest storytellers I know. And not just in rhyme form, but in real life. Sitting here talking to you, you get so animated when you tell your stories. Where you get that from?
I get that. You know, I grew up in a building. I grew up in the projects, right? So I want y'all to really understand this, right? In New York City, we got projects that my projects were 14 floors, 144 apartments. Everybody had 9 kids. Forest projects. Okay. So we had Trinity Ave. So we had 1,500 people in my one building. My project got 20 buildings in 2-block radius. So I grew up with 10,000 people. Do you think about somebody, normal family, got a house, 3 kids, and then somebody else got a house? Yeah, I grew up with 10,000 people. So I grew up with the stank girls. I grew up with the we would be in front of the building to 6 a.m. telling stories, joking on it, horrible. Like the things they would call my mother and father were horrendous, but they were funny. Like, you know what I'm saying? We would just make fun of everybody's mother and this. And then for hours and hours and hours of doing this, I developed, you know, a great essence of storytelling, you know, of putting you there. And so the art of storytelling is
that's it.
Me telling you a story. We could be right here, and then you feel like you're in the jungles of Africa. Mm-hmm. And then right now the zebra ran by. Woo! And then you like, oh wow, this is great. You got to be able to see it.
Right.
And so I got that from where I grew up, man. But it's hundreds of animated guys, hundreds of animated girls, and you know, just doing this every night with them. Like, it's no big deal. So now, like you said, everybody says this now. Yo, Fat Joe's one of the greatest storytellers in hip hop. But to the guys and the girls I grew up with in the Bronx, they're like, psh, Joey been doing this since 14 years old, since 10 years old. This been going on. And so that's crazy. I remember one talent show, at that talent show that I told you I heard when the NYC. Yeah. One of the things, I went up there and told the story. Like, that was my talent. I went up there and told the story. And my sister was mad at me because she was in the story.
Tell me the story.
And I don't remember, but I was making fun of my sister. So everybody thought it was hilarious. But when I got off, you know, my sister could beat me up. You know, 12, 13 years old, my sister was tougher than me. So I kind of like got my ass whipped for telling that story about my sister. It was the story. Everybody loved it. It was like, it was everybody was on the floor dying laughing.
Except your sister.
Nah, she ain't feeling that. She ain't feeling that.
Oh my God. Remember what's your first memory on Hot 97, period?
Wow.
It could be
my first memory, I'm going to tell you, my first memory on Hot 97 was meeting Angie Martinez, and she was an intern. And I remember telling her I'm going to be the biggest rapper. I'm Fat Joe. I'm this and this and that. And I remember her looking at me like, this guy's on drugs. No, straight up. Like, she couldn't even hide. The face wasn't a poker face. She was looking at me like... You know when they're looking at you like that, like, come, boy, please. You know how many people come up here and say that? And we joke about that all these years later. 30 years later, she be like, you remember the time you came up and you told me and this? And I'll be like, yo, but sis, we did it. You know? That's my first thing with Hot 97. I remember cheating on Battle of the Beats. I used to call up and be like, yo, play Fat Joe. Then call him, play Fat Joe. Then I call back, oh yeah, wait, I said Fat Joe. Yo, it's like, I'd be on the phone. We be lined up. Like, back in the days, they used to have them public phone booths. And me and my boys would be over there calling Hot 97, 1-800-999. We'd be like, yo, that Fat Joe was crazy, man. Play that Fat Joe for the Bronx. Cheating on the Battle of the Beats.
Love that.
I remember the first show, I got in a lot of trouble. I don't know if we can say this here. You can edit it if you want. But Hot 97 threw a show in Lehman High School in the Bronx, and it was sold out. And this when FloJo was #1. So I'm like every other young rapper, cocky, thinking I'm the biggest, this. So I show up with 100 people. And when I show up with 100 people, the guy at the door was like, yo, you can't come in with all these people. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm in the... You know, they came to see Fat Joe because they did come to see Fat Joe, of course, with Hot 97 playing my music. So I beat the guy up. And the guy turned out to be one of the bosses of Hot 97.
No way.
he stopped playing my records. So my whole second album, almost third album, they wouldn't play my records. So I kept coming back, begging him and kissing his ass and begging him, yo, could you this? And he'd be like, nah, I'm not ready to squash it with you. And then I used to have people tell him, yo, but Joe's a good guy. He was young. He didn't know this, that. I used to beg Tracy. Like, I bought that big doll. You ever seen that?
The big teddy bears.
The teddy bear in the office. I bought that teddy bear, right? And that was part of bribing her to convince this other guy, I don't want to see his name, to finally forgive me. And so years later, he finally forgave me and was like, yo, Fat Joe, it's all good. I was like, yo, I was young, man. I was stupid. I ain't know no better. So we squashed the beef. But part of the truth is Tracy loved them fluffy things. Teddy One day I showed up here with the biggest teddy bear in the world from FAO Schwartz. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, and she loved it. Her smile was over here. Her smile was like from cheek to cheek. I got her. I was like, yo, man, broke her the piece, man. I need the piece.
They sat there in front of the programming department for many years.
Still here. No, the bear is here.
I don't know if they still there.
Oh, no, the bear's here.
Really?
Oh, no, the bear's here.
Look for it.
Yo, go get the bear.
Go find the bear.
Bear's
go
here.
Find the bear. Look.
I bought the bear.
You're going to look for the bear.
What's crazy is I see, you know how I know? Because a lot of these young artists come up here and they sit on the bear and they sit next to it. And I'll be like, yo, I bought the bear. Like, I'm the guy who bought the bear.
We're going to see if we find the bear. We're going to see if we find the bear.
The bear's here.
Somebody go look for the damn bear.
I'm telling you, the bear is here. I got pictures with the bear.
Right. I believe you, Joe.
Nah, I got the bear. But, big mistake. Big mistake thinking I'm bigger than the radio station. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That was a huge mistake. Artists out there, don't play yourself, man. Don't play yourself. Leave these guys alone.
Fat Joe was notorious for putting a DJ or two in a van. That's what happens, Pop. People get afraid. People get afraid.
I just felt like my life, Enuff. My life depended on this.
Right.
30 years later, I knew this is my only way out. And, some guys, I remember one time I came to you. I don't know if you remember.
I remember.
And you wasn't feeling one record. I don't know if it was Get It Poppin'.
No, I think it was What's Love. You was mad at me.
Not What's Love.
I think you were mad at me because I didn't play What's Love fast enough.
Listen.
And that's your biggest
I come and meet with this guy, right? So I get real Puerto Rican with him, right? So I sit down with him in the diner and I bring tons of paper that show that this record is #1 in the country, #1 in Chicago. Bring the bear in.
Bring the bear in.
Bring the bear.
Bring the bear in. Put the bear right
here. Look at the bear.
Yo. Bring the bear in. The bear is here, y'all.
Yo, I bought the bear. Okay?
The bear is here. Put the bear right here so we in the shop.
Tracy, put the bear right here. Wow. Look at yo, you talk about look at the bear!
The bear's still here.
Let me tell you something.
And in great shape. Look at that.
Look at that. Let me tell you
something.
What
year was that, bro?
Oh, my God. That was 100 years ago, man. This is a 25-year-old bear for sure. This is a 25-year-old bear. And I had to bribe her because she keep these stuffed animals. Of course, Joe Crack. I got to get the FAO Schwartz bear that everybody wants. Legendary. 100%. What was the story I was telling you? You see the bear?
You're talking about you had paperwork to show you how big this record was.
So I came to him. I said, yo, first of all, I had to, and I never did this with Enuff before because he earned his position in hip hop. I earned my position, not due to anything else but to talent and skill. Mm-hmm. But I had to once in my lifetime bring out the Puerto Rican card and be like, yo, bro, you bought Equa, man. What's up? He was like, Joe, what's the problem? And so I showed him Memphis, Tennessee, #1, LA, #1, this. He looked at me, he was like, yo, you right. I said, yo, it's #1. Why you ain't playing the record enough? After that, we never had a problem in our life. But I actually brought you the receipt.
You know what it was? I think for me, in my brain, because, I come from the boom bap era. Yeah. I come from D.I.T.
So you saw Fat Joe as that.
I come from Premier. Even Biggie, when I first heard the Hypnotized record for Biggie, I wasn't a big fan of it. I was still thinking.
I was there when Biggie. I was in the studio when he wrote Hypnotized.
I was still in unbelievable mode. I was still in kicking the door.
Don't that New York, yeah.
That's me. It's not. I don't know if it's a fault, but sometimes you don't see the marriage when the record's growing and
you know, it's like
the record's
that.
Supposed to be big.
It's like that for me.
Even for Big hated half the records that Puff Daddy was saying he should have recorded.
Let me tell you something. I didn't hate it. I used to go to the Track Masters. I used to hang out with them.
Oh, they were good.
In their house and everything. And they were giving everybody and their mother smashes. And every time they gave me beats, it would be like Flojo beats. Right. Underground. They'd be like, nah, you Flojo. You the real deal. You Army Fatigue. I'm like, bro, I want to pay the bills. I need a hit. Let me get a hit. And they wouldn't give me a hit. And I remember the time when I got We Thuggin', Ron G. Right? Because I never knew that Ron G produced for anybody. He hit me up and said, yo, come by my house in Harlem. He said, I got something for you. So he gave me a beat. We went in front of Jimmy's Bronx Cafe. I threw it in the sky blue truck with the system. And it came, and it was We Thuggin' the beat. And I was like, we got out and started dancing around the truck because even though we were cool with hit makers, they didn't see Fat Joe as What's Love or We Thuggin' or nothing like that because I was so boom back, Army Fatigue. It's crazy because I just came from SOBs. The Locks are doing a documentary. So I came from doing an interview for them. And the owner of SOBs comes out. He owns it for 40 years. He says, yo, man, you know the first time I seen Fat Joe? I said, what? He said, KRS-One was doing a peace, stop the violence thing here. Yes. And here you are in the middle of the dance floor dancing with a gun in your hand. He was like, yo. He was like, this is crazy. Like, how you going to be at the stop the violence with the gun in your hand? What's wrong with you? Like, and so that's the first time the owner of SOBs ever seen me. He was like, yo, who's this? They was like, yo, that's Fat Joe from the Bronx. He was like, yo, this guy's crazy. But we were crazy, so everybody saw me as that. They didn't see me as a hit maker, you know. And I remember I did my verses, and when I went to R. Kelly, and he went to do the hook, the Track Masters was there. They were looking at me. They were like, you could do this? I was like, yes, I've been telling you I can make hits. Like, they didn't understand it. They couldn't believe it.
And now you're one of the most incredible like executive producers of all time. You pick those hits. Like you have it in you, bro.
Yeah.
You're one of the greatest A&Rs in the game ever.
So what? Thank you, but I always taught myself, I always looked at myself as a program director.
That's right.
And so when I picked beats, I picked as a program director what I would be allowed to play. And so that's how I made so many hits. I would look at it like, all right, so if I'm the program director of Hot 97, would I play this song? Would the girls like it on Sunday afternoon? Would this? And that's how I would make my hits. That's how I would make my hits.
That's crazy.
I'll tell you another story. I used to be afraid to fly, remember? And I would go everywhere in the bus. So I always lived in Miami and New York. I would always go to South Carolina. Don't ask me why. It's coming up. And I would go through South Carolina and turn the radio on, maybe on a Sunday or something, driving back to New York, and I would look at the kids playing around. It's such a peaceful place, and I'd be like, if the radio played these songs on South Carolina on a beautiful day with the kids playing, then I'm good if I make a hit that sounds like I could play it in South Carolina on an afternoon day. It was just a weird thing I had. Would they play this in South Carolina?
You had that programmed in your head.
Yeah, I had that because when the only one good thing Atlantic Records ever did for me, other than make me rich, was Craig Common would tell me in my face, he would be like, yo, you as good as your last hit. He said, you're not Beyonce, you're not none of these people. You can't put out 4 songs to one of them cats. And you're not none of those. You are one and done, brother. So you make sure you pick that song that's gonna win. And so I would say 19 out of 20 times I would pick the winner.
It gave you a lot of pressure, huh?
A lot of pressure to make sure it was out the park. But thank God that's why I got so many hits.
I'm smiling like I'm so proud of you, bro. It's just so big. You, it's big.
You want to know who's a good storyteller?
Who?
Me. Because somehow we get the bear in the interview. How we got the bear, man? This is legendary. The bear is in the interview. We found a way.
So explain to me about Your book or your life story becoming a one-man show. What's that about?
Break that down. We're doing a one-man show. So say like a John Leguizamo did, a Mike Tyson, Beastie Boys, Bruce Springsteen. So I'm going to be telling the good and bad times of my life. So from my book, it inspired us to do a one-man show. Dave Chappelle is introducing me.
I love that.
And we're going to do it in front of, you're going to be there. We're going to do it, God willing. We all going to be there somewhere in Manhattan. We'll do one in Apollo to get that Harlem World vibe. And then we're going to do the same show down in where the plays are. Because I'm trying to win a Mark Twain Award. That's the storyteller of the year.
Yes.
So I'm trying to do something like that. So it's not comedy. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. It's just a journey of my life, man, of different things that I've been through. I got so many stories.
Are you preparing for that?
Nah, that's off the rip.
You just got to do it off the head.
You got boys like that from Brooklyn that they just, they always tell a good one. You know what I'm saying? I got
Middle finger to Chuck, chill out.
Yo, Chucky!
Middle finger to Chuck, chill out.
Chuck, chill out still thinks he's a goon.
No, he is a goon.
No, he still thinks he's tough. He still thinks.
Look, he said, knock it off, Joe.
Yo, Chuck, nah. Because I see Chuck.
Come in here and say hi real quick, man. Come
inside, Chuck. I see Chuck in like pictures and all that on Instagram, and he always got the ice grill still.
Always.
Come on,
Yo, Chuck, hold up, man.
Stop it, Joe.
Yo, Chuck, let me ask you a question.
Yo, Chuck.
All I know is this.
Yo, Chuck.
Yo, Joe, me and this guy in the last couple of weeks, we've done so many interviews, like for the 50 years of hip
Why you
hop.
don't smile in the pictures, though?
Yeah, he's just so
Damn,
gangster.
Chuck, I love you, man. This is a.
You know what smile back
chill
in the day.
out,
You
man.
didn't smile back
I didn't smile back in the
You
day.
didn't smile back in the day either.
But I'm old now. I smile now, Chuck. Come on, man. I be looking at the pictures on Instagram of Chuck. He still got the ice cream.
Yeah.
Yo, Chuck a goon.
That's the legendary Chuck Chill Out, y'all.
Beyond a legend.
Legendary.
Beyond a legend. An
All right.
icon. Pioneer hip hop radio.
Yeah.
DJ.
No, I've been with him like the last couple of 2-3 weeks, and we've been doing all kind of interviews. 50 years of hip hop this, 50 years of hip hop that. Disney, ESPN, the Terrell brothers. Like there's so many interviews we've been doing. And it's crazy to see his perspective on like his story coming up from the Bronx, and it's Chuck Chill Out. One of the greatest to do it.
Unsung hero.
Yeah,
unsung career.
Absolutely.
Unsung career.
Shout
and then
to
I
the
hear
Bronx.
him on the radio going off, and he takes it like it's day one.
Like nothing.
No. He fights for his life. He plays them records.
Nah, he goes in.
He goes in there to let you know Chuck Chill Out is here.
Yes.
And so what you got to understand that in hip hop, right, even producers, I can hear Primo through the music. I know that's Primo. I know that's Dr. Dre.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I know that's the Pharrell. I know this is Timberland. I know this is Cool and Dre, right? And so with DJing, you know who's who without saying nothing. If you really study DJs on the radio or in the streets or whatever, you know who it is. You know the difference. You know when Pretty Lou grabs the mic, bro.
Right.
When Pretty Lou grabs the mic, I don't care who you are.
You know
you're
when he
like,
grabs the mic.
That's that guy. Mm-hmm. He coming to right. And so that's how Chuck Chill Out, when he goes on there, Chuck Chill Out did his 2 hours. This is what it is. Red, same thing. You, same thing. Camilo.
Yes, sir.
They talk. We can hear you. It's like you rapping, playing music.
It's like we're
Like I
performing.
told you, I heard you on BLS, and you was catching a body, like right.
That's a good thing, y'all. That means
he was killing it. No, I was listening because Enuff is so current.
Right.
Right? So Enuff hasn't allowed himself to get old, believe it or not. Because he's on the radio and he got to give you the newest music. So he knows all the drill, all of it. He's just so caught up in knowing the newest, the new thing that's going, the next thing that's going. But how could you just go and say, all right, I'm going to an old school station and I'm going to play the Mama used to say, take your time, young man. And I'm like, yo, he's in his bag.
I'm in my bag.
Like, you can't do that. Everybody can't do that.
I'm just reminiscing the days of like Ralph McDaniels. Like, that's my history. Like without Ralph McDaniels, I wouldn't know anything. Because I lived in Brooklyn, and I know this for sure. A lot of parts of Manhattan and the Bronx had cable. We didn't.
We didn't have cable.
For some reason. I don't know why. Maybe this wasn't... The city wasn't...
last place. I know Queens had it.
The city wasn't wired.
I used to go watch Mike Tyson fights in my uncle's house in Woodside, Queens.
Right.
Because he had cable.
Right.
We didn't have cable in the Bronx.
Yeah, but me either. By the time I got cable, BT was already celebrating its 10th year on the air. I'm like, what? 10 years? Yeah, Donnie Simpson and the girl was celebrating 10 years of that show.
With the green
Yeah,
eyes,
of course.
Donnie Simpson.
Yeah.
You ever seen that interview where he shot a shot at Sade?
Nah.
He forgot the whole interview.
No, I forgot.
You got to Google that.
I got to peep that one.
Google that.
He went at it?
He forgot the whole interview. He was like, hey, I mean, you're so amazing. You're so beautiful. I mean,
He just forgot about his job.
I just been waiting to meet you, and you're even more beautiful than in the videos and in the whole interview was him shooting his shot.
No way.
I said, she's like looking at him like she knows, like, yo, this guy's shooting his shot
way.
on TV.
No
like he lost
way.
this cool with Sade. He lost this. He just was going. That's the whole interview. He didn't ask her about one song. It was like trying to get with Sade.
Fat Joe's message to the New York Knicks. What is it?
They should have got Donovan Mitchell while they had the chance. They didn't want to give up R.J. Barrett. We needed a lights out, bona fide young superstar. We usually get guys after their prime.
Mm-hmm.
They made a mistake with that. I'm proud of them. We ain't been in the second round in 23 years. But we got to make some moves. I don't really want to get nobody pissed off or nothing like that.
Nah, it's all good. It was just a message for them. That's all.
Yeah, but I can't tell them exactly. I got ideas that sound like horrible, but you got to make some trades. This year you should make some trades. You should get some more team spirited players. Because that could break your whole chemistry when you got people who ain't team players. But I love our nucleus. I love our coach. I love Worldwide West and Leon Rose, what he did. Dolan, the whole organization did an amazing. I haven't felt like that since Ewing and since Larry Johnson and Starks. And
Yes.
It can be. Spreewell, I haven't felt the Garden like that since then. So thank you for a magical year. I got to take my flag off my house. In my house, I got the Knick flag.
Of course.
How long is it not keeping it real? Like, our season is over. I still got the flag up.
You keeping it more than real.
I'm keeping it more. At what point should I take it off? Enough? Because
I would have took it down already because they lost.
it's time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do it. I think I'm playing myself. Like, I got the Knick flag at my house.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You're showing real love. You're a real New Yorker for life. For life. No matter where you live, you're a New Yorker.
No, I live
in
in New York and I live in Miami. Miami's my second home. I just love that. Here, it's hard for me to walk down the block.
Right.
I'll tell you why. Because it's the gift and the curse. I know everybody. Like, I know everybody. If somebody tells you they know Fat Joe, they're not lying. They knew my sister. They know my brother. They know my aunts. They know my uncles. So I'm a keep it real person that the minute I walk out of Hot 97, somebody stopped me. Could be the Frankfurter man, but he knows my dad. I got to talk to him for 30 minutes.
That's it.
I cross the street. I go to a store. I see somebody, one of my cousin's best friends. I got to talk to him. And so everywhere I go, it's like a collision course. I got to talk to these people and really vibe with them. In Miami, I know them, but I could do this. Like, yo, what's up? Yeah, all right, cool. And keep it moving.
Got you.
That's the difference of New York and Miami. They let me be.
That's love.
If I see people, sometimes I go to the supermarket, you can see Lil Wayne there. You can see everybody. And it's just, yo, what's up, what's up? We all keep it moving.
Yeah.
Over here, I got to talk or they're going to go back to the Bronx talking about that boy done changed.
Yeah.
They're going to go back to Bushwick, Brooklyn, talking about that boy done changed. So I got to stop and talk to Tito Sunshine. I got to talk to all these. So, in Miami, they let me just chill.
Oh my God.
So that's why I love Miami so much.
So technology's changed in so many different facets, to your smartphone, the recording studio, to whatever. How does Fat Joe record in 2023?
I haven't recorded. I did for DraftKings and my brother Set Free. I did the song "The Game" with Jadakiss, Styles, and Rick Ross. My man Five Mike's got a remix out. Five Mike's. He got Kid Capri introducing us. He got DMX on there, Little Mama, me and Five Mike's. Incredible song. You need to be on that. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Five Mike's. And so other than little features I pop in, I ain't really been recording. I got 3 TV shows coming out this year. You know, I'm opening a bunch of businesses, you know, not just sneaker stores. You know, I got the hair coloring dye. It's going to be for beards and
That's
for
dope.
hair and with every color, every
Send me a
box.
pack. I gotta do mine.
No, I've been looking at you.
Yeah,
You got to be a free customer.
I do it every Wednesday, but
I got to put you on automatic.
I missed my last
Don't
week
ever
appointment.
do it
I
because
know.
your wives be telling you
know.
that you look better with gray. It's a lie. Why look 10 years younger?
I know,
Don't
I
let
hear you.
these ladies tell you that. They over here.
They
I'm
just
with,
want you home. and
man,
safe.
I
That's
be
what it is.
begging Mayor. I'm like, yo, Mayor, paint your joint. And he's like, nah. The other day, we go to dinner with him and his wife. And she's like, yeah, I be making, you know, he want to color it, but I think he looks better salt and pepper. I'm like, bulls, yo, get that tussin going, boy. Like, so it's called Rewind.
All
It's
right.
going to be all over Walgreens.
Rewind.
Rewind.
I'm there.
It's going to be all over Target, all over Walgreens, all over Walmart, all over your supermarkets. We got Travis Kelce on the box. We got Khaled on the box. We got Tyson Beckford on the box. We got Giancarlo from the novellas on the box.
That's big.
Tank. We got everybody. Fat Joe's on the box.
That's big.
And so, you know,
I'm shooting for a position on the box, y'all.
you see what I'm saying? But what happens is painting your beard and painting your hair is almost like Kotex.
Oh my
right? It's
God.
almost like guys are scared to buy this. They don't live up to it. So we're gonna make it cool to where you could go, you know, and buy your box and feel like, yeah, I'm getting the DJ Khaled color. It is what it is.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't mad at you. I love that.
We bringing the empowerment back to the fellas.
Yo, when you get an idea about anything, making money, getting a bag, what's the first thing you do?
Well,
Do you call your lawyer? Do you call your manager, your friend, your wife? What happens?
Well, I think about it, and I really think about it, and I try to perfect it and perfect it and perfect it. And then I put the team together, and I don't have a problem with partnering up with somebody like the Rewind I'm doing it with. It's a 10. It's $1 billion company. They do shampoo all across the world. And it's my sister. She's a Boricua. She's worth $3-4 billion. Right? And so I stepped to her and said, let's do this. I got an idea. And she was like, bet, brother, let's do it. But she automatically, you know, some people like 100%. You know, I watched Jay-Z say this recently. Some people like 100% of something that ain't really worth nothing. You can have 1% of something that's worth millions and billions. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like, you know, I would partner up with somebody who really, really knows that business.
Right.
You know, that I could trust as well as a partner. So I'll bring the idea. We'll market, we'll promote, we'll get it done. You know, I put up my own money as well all the time. I've been an independent artist for 16 years. I put up my own money for videos, for studios, sample clearance, everything. My lawyers, my everything.
How important are the lawyers to you?
For me, lawyers are important, but most of all, it's ownership. I like being a boss. I like being an entrepreneur. When you're a boss, nobody can fire you. That's my whole thing. And anybody could get fired.
I like that.
It could always be a sad day.
That's facts.
Always. So I don't like feeling like somebody could come in here and tell me, yo, you got to go. So I like to own everything.
That's what's up. So this is the Go Talk. I'm your man, Big Spanish DJ Enuff. That's my guy, Joe Crack the Dawn.
And the star of the show
The Bear.
is Fuzzy the Bear.
The Bear.
The Bear. And now you know when all you artists come up in here and sit down with the bear and take your picture, that's a Terror Squad member.
You got to thank Fat
Yo,
Joe.
I should have threw a fake TS chain on this guy a long time ago. Then you would have really understood. It would have been like Big Pun, Fat Joe, and
100%.
Fuzzy the Bear.
100%.
Shout out to TT, Drewski. It's going to be off the chain.
That's it. This is a new show right here, y'all. 10 to 3. Tapping with us. You heard?
It's
Go
on,
Talk.
baby.
Thanks, Joe.